The Art of Being Seen, Machiavelli's Secret to Power and Influence. Let me tell you something about power that most people get completely wrong. They think power comes from being the smartest person in the room, or the loudest, or the one with the best ideas. But that is not how it works. I learned this the hard way. My name is Niccolo Machiavelli, and for years, I walked the halls of power in Florence, watching carefully as men rose and fell, often for reasons that had nothing to do with their abilities. I wrote a book about it. You probably know the name, The Prince. But here is what almost no one understands. That book was not the whole truth. It was what I could say publicly, what I could put on paper without destroying myself. The real secret, the one I practiced every single day, but never spelled out directly, was something far more subtle, far more powerful, and far more useful to you right now, in your life, than anything about conquering cities or commanding armies. Today, I want to share it with you plainly. The secret is this: it is not enough to be capable. You must be seen as capable by the people who matter. And being seen is an art, a deliberate art, one that most people never learn, because they believe good work speaks for itself. It does not. I watched brilliant men disappear into obscurity, because they did not understand this. And I watched mediocre men rise to incredible heights, because they mastered the art of being seen. Let me be clear. I am not talking about lying. I am not talking about pretending to be something you are not. That is a fool's game and it always ends badly. I am talking about something much more intelligent. I am talking about shaping the way people perceive the work you already do, the value you already bring, the person you already are. Because here is the truth that no one wants to admit. Perception creates reality in the human world. If people perceive you as valuable, you become valuable. If people perceive you as unremarkable, you become unremarkable, even if the actual quality of your work has not changed at all. This was my hidden practice, and I want to give you the 3 steps I used, refined over years of watching power move from one person to another. The first step is this: identify your audience. Not everyone, your audience. When I was working in the Florentine government, I knew exactly who mattered. The Gonfalonier, the key members of the Signoria, the ambassadors from other city-states. These were the people whose perception of me directly affected my ability to do my work and advance my position. I did not waste energy trying to impress everyone. I focused on being seen clearly by the people who could actually open doors. You must do the same. Who are the 3 to 5 people in your life whose perception of you has the most impact on your future? Your boss, a mentor, a client, a partner, a gatekeeper in your industry. Write their names down. Literally, take a piece of paper right now and write down 3 names. Because until you know who your audience is, you cannot shape how they see you. You will just be performing randomly, hoping someone notices. That is not strategy. That is luck. Step 1: identify your audience, the specific people whose perception matters most. The second step is this: create visible moments of value. Listen carefully. This does not mean bragging. This does not mean sending weekly emails about how amazing you are. It means deliberately creating moments where the value you provide becomes undeniable and visible to your audience. Let me give you an example from my own life. When I was sent on diplomatic missions, I did not just complete the task and report back quietly. I wrote detailed dispatches. I included analysis. I made observations that went beyond what was asked of me. And I made sure those dispatches reached not just my direct superior, but also the other key figures who needed to understand what I was seeing. I was not doing extra work for no reason. I was making my thinking visible. I was making my value undeniable. You can do this in your own work right now. Finish a project? Do not just submit it quietly. Send a brief note explaining what you learned, what worked, what you would recommend next. Did you solve a problem? Share the solution with the people who need to know, not just the person who asked. Help a colleague? Let the right person know, not to take credit away from the colleague, but to make your contribution visible. The key is this: value that no one sees. does not exist in the world of perception. And perception is what moves you forward. You are not manipulating. You are communicating. You are making sure that the work you do is actually noticed by the people who can act on it. Step 2. Create visible moments of value. Now, the third step is the most misunderstood. And it is the one that separates the people who rise from the people who stay stuck. The third step is this: align yourself with success before it is obvious. Pay attention to this. In every organization, in every social circle, in every industry, there are people and projects that are about to rise. The signs are there if you know how to read them. When I was in Florence, I learned to identify the rising powers before they became dominant, and I made sure I was visible to them early. Not as a sycophant, not as someone begging for favor, but as someone who understood what they were building and could contribute to it. This meant I was often aligned with the right people at the right time. Not because I was lucky, but because I was watching carefully and moving strategically. You can do this too. Look around your workplace, your industry, your community. Who is doing something that is about to matter? What project is quietly gaining momentum? What person is being given more responsibility? Position yourself near that success. Offer to help. Ask intelligent questions. Make yourself useful in a way that gets you noticed by the people who are rising. Because when they rise, you rise with them. This is not about using people. This is about recognizing where value is being created and making sure you are part of creating it. The people who do this consistently are the ones who seem to always be in the right place at the right time. But it is not luck. It is practice. It is the art of being seen in the places that matter. Step 3. Align yourself with success before it becomes obvious. Now let me bring this all together for you. Most people make one of two mistakes. Either they work incredibly hard and hope someone notices, or they talk constantly about themselves and annoy everyone around them. Neither works. The art of being seen is about something more sophisticated. It is about understanding that human beings make decisions based on perception, and perception can be shaped through deliberate, intelligent action. You do not have to be the loudest. You do not have to be the most talented. You just have to be visible to the right people, in the right way, at the right moments. I rose from obscurity to become one of the most trusted advisors in Florence. Not because I was born into power, but because I mastered this art. And when I lost my position, it was not because I stopped being capable. It was because I lost the ability to be seen by the people who mattered. That taught me the hardest lesson of all: capability without visibility is invisibility. So here is what I want you to do starting today. Identify your audience. Write down 3 names. The people whose perception of you matters most to your future. Create 1 visible moment of value this week. 1 email, 1 conversation, 1 piece of work that you make sure reaches the right eyes. And watch carefully for where success is beginning to form around you. Then move toward it deliberately. Do this consistently and I promise you, your life will change. Not because you became a different person, but because you became a visible person. The work you are already doing will start to count. The value you are already creating will start to be recognized. The doors that were closed will start to open. This is not manipulation. This is intelligence. This is understanding how the world actually works, and choosing to work with it instead of against it. I wrote The Prince to teach rulers how to hold power. But the secret I practiced every day was simpler and more personal than that. Be excellent, but more importantly, be seen being excellent by the people who can change your life. That is the art. That is the secret. And it is yours to use starting right now.